up, gang? Thank you so much for joining me here again on the channel today. We have got 3 very big match announcements. 1 that I really don't care about. 2, the second one is going to be too good to be true. And then the third one absolutely cannot be believed. And we are going to discuss all 3 of those matches right here and right now on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of the YouTube wrestling community. This is the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. So, let's do it.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Alright, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Nick Nightmare. Along with me is my tag team partner, the World Heavyweight Champion of Microphones, Blue the Snowball, and as promised, we are back with part 2 of your weekend wrestling update right here on Sledgehammer TV. Thank you again for joining us. 3 matchups were announced coming for us. 2 of them are happening this week. And we're going to go over both of those first as we barrel through the news. But in our top story today, coming out of the Far East, coming out of nowhere, Chris Jericho challenging Kenny Omega for WrestleKingdom 12. We are going to talk about that. First, let's get the WWE stuff out of the way. Weird to say that when we have a story involving Chris Jericho as well, but we're going to explain everything as we do here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Don't forget, everybody, if you are enjoying today's broadcast and you love this show the way I love this show, smash that thumbs up. If you have not joined the Sledgehammer Club by now, I don't know what the hell you guys are waiting for. Just hit the subscribe button, that's all you need to do, and then ring that ringside bell so that you will always be up to date with each and every video that drops the very, very second that it does. Very important that you guys do all that. And also don't forget, if you have the time to take about 5 seconds out of your day, click the link in the description below for our sponsor. Today's episode being brought to you by Clutch Chairs, as always. So let's now get into the news. First off, Monday Night Raw announced a match that I don't think would get anybody interested to even tune into Monday Night Raw. One of the millions of problems that we can get into, but we're not here to bash Raw tonight. We are here to talk specifically about this match, and it is among one of the worst match types in the history of matches. It is my most hated match of all time, and it involves a pole. Now, I don't like the flag matches, but I understand that there is a place for them, and, you know, when you're doing patriotic angles and things of that nature, there is a place for that type of thing. There is never a place in wrestling to put anything on a pole and have anybody trying to retrieve that thing in order to be able to use it within the match. I hate pole matches. I don't give a shit if you got a coal miner's glove on the pole, if you've got I don't even remember that. I try to black them out of my mind. They're all so terrible. I don't care what it is. A friggin' banana cream pie on a pole match. Judy Bagwell on a pole. On a forklift is what they did in WCW. That's how far they took that crap. But we've seen all kinds of shit. Pinatas on poles. Nonsense. Half the time they put the shit on a pole and then the combatants can't even reach whatever it is that's supposed to be up there on the pole anyway. In this case, we are going to have a guitar on a pole. A guitar on a pole. I hate this. I hate this not just because there's going to be a beautiful guitar that is going to be destroyed, which is something that wrestling does, so I am used to it, like going to a Ted Nugent concert. You know you're going to see some type of guitar or an electric or an acoustic be completely exploded and shattered and splintered into a million pieces. It broke my heart when I seen him shoot the bow and arrow into the guitar and blow it to pieces. I don't like seeing instruments destroyed. I don't care if you're Ted Nugent or if you're Elias. It's not something that I look forward to seeing. I was never a proponent of it when Jeff Jarrett did it. I wasn't happy about it when the Honky Tonk Man used to do it. It's like, that is a beautiful guitar. Why would you smash it over somebody's head? Let alone the fact that the dangers in using a real guitar are very real. It's not just your average wood that's going to just break away and splinter, which causes splintering and is going to get shards and stuff in your skin. It's almost like a fiberglass. It can get very, very small pieces in your skin, and it's hard to deal with. Not that I give a shit about what's going to happen when somebody gets bashed with one of these guitars, which I hate, if in case I didn't mention that. But this match is pointless. Just like this whole feud is pointless. What are they even fighting over? How did this feud begin? Because Jason Jordan doesn't like fruit and vegetables? He doesn't like fruit and vegetables, and apparently he doesn't like the way Elias Sampson sings songs. So he came out and he threw all the fruits and vegetables at him, and now we have a feud. Give me a break, WWE. This is nonsense. This is the path that you guys go down that makes everybody just shake their head. Maybe there's some of you out there that are excited to see this pole match, and to you I say shame on you. Nobody should be excited to see any kind of a pole match unless we're watching some sort of an X-rated video. That's the only type of poles I want to see being used. I don't care. I don't care at all about this match. And for them to announce it as if it's a big deal to try to get viewers to come to Monday Night Raw is absolutely asinine. There has to be something bigger they could have booked for Monday night than Elias Sampson versus Jason Jordan in a guitar on a pole match. Pass. I'm already passing. We didn't even get to Monday yet. And I could care less about Monday Night Raw. On the flip side, the blue team is doing something that's got a lot of people buzzing, and it's got a lot of speculation floating around the air, and that is AJ Styles, who was originally slated to be going one-on-one with Rusev this Tuesday for a spot on the SmackDown Live Survivor Series team, captained by Shane McMahon. They have switched gears and have changed AJ Styles' match as a result of Jinder Mahal's actions from last Tuesday night's SmackDown Live. He is going to have to defend his title against the Phenomenal One in what is speculated to be a street fight. Now, like I said, too good to be true here. I'm very afraid when it comes to WWE Creative, and I do not trust them a lick to do the right thing here. Essentially, this is a make it or break it moment for the WWE. They are going to prove one of two things. They are going to either prove that they finally have come around, they've seen the error of their ways, and they are going to put that strap on AJ Styles before the Survivor Series, so the main event matchup between the two world champions actually is attractive and actually looks like a star-studded main event. If they have AJ Styles defeat Jinder Mahal on Tuesday. That is a very gigantic if. I hate that it's such a big if, but it is a very, very big if. Because they are still planned on going into India, and it is not beyond the realm of possibility for the WWE to make Jinder Mahal, whether he uses the singlets, his little midget buddies, or whether he cheats to win, as we have become accustomed to seeing with Jinder Mahal, he could very well, and I hate even saying this, be the victor this Tuesday night, giving him a win against the best wrestler in the world, arguably, going into this matchup with Brock Lesnar, trying to gain him momentum. I could totally see them doing that. I don't want to see that. I've told you guys on this show, and I stick by my story, Samson, I will not watch SmackDown Live if Jinder Mahal beats AJ Styles. Clean or not at this point. Here we are. We are at the crossroads of life for you, WWE. You're either going to go with AJ and start to make us fans realize, hey, maybe they do give a shit about the company. Maybe they do care about our reactions. Maybe they finally come around and seeing that this Jinder experiment is nothing but a flop and a failure. Having Jinder Mahal be injured is only leaning to all this speculation that they might take the strap off him. He's been wearing kinesio tape at live events, but they won't show him in that light. God forbid we show him in a human light on TV. Maybe gain some sympathy for the guy. Maybe that's why the Colossus is so friggin' disgustingly ugly, because his shoulders are messed up and he can't execute it properly. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit, but it's certainly a possibility. So with him being injured, the best thing they could do is give the belt to AJ Styles. AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar is a tremendous match. But once again, that leads us down a very, very tricky path. Does AJ Styles get the belt from Jinder Mahal only to ultimately lose to Brock Lesnar, making him, as his first championship situation, his first matchup since champion, be buried and be sacrificed to the beast on his road to Roman Reigns? That I don't want to see either. I want to see, in this scenario, what I want to see is AJ Styles get the belt on Tuesday night. Jinder Mahal, go away, recuperate your shoulder. He's going to be back eventually, and he's going to torture us later on down the line. But get rid of him, have AJ the champ, go into this match with Brock Lesnar, and then do something that we haven't seen in a while. Have Brock and AJ actually go to the time limit. How about that? How about you give this match a 20-minute time limit? It's an exhibition. It doesn't have to be half an hour or an hour. Effectively, since there's no championships on the line, this is an exhibition match. So you can cap it at 20 minutes. And then make AJ survive for 20 minutes versus the Beast, to the point where the bell rings at the end and there is no victor. Brock does not hit the F5. AJ can hit Brock with one or two phenomenal forearms, come on, with very close 3 counts, making AJ look like the wrestler he is. This is a guy that I have seen go toe-to-toe with Samoa Joe on so many occasions, and has taken Kurt Angle to his limit on very many occasions while he was running shit in TNA. There is no reason that you can't tell me AJ Styles can't hang with Brock Lesnar. That's what I want to see. No winner, no loser. You don't need to satisfy the fans. That leaves so much to the imagination. God, what if AJ would have just beat him? It sets up a rematch down the line. Something bigger, something greater. Storytelling. Imagine that in the WWE. Just imagine it, because we don't get it. That's near perfect. And then you have both champions go on their separate way. One run in the blue, one run in the red. And then maybe down the line, after the shake-up, maybe the two shall meet again. Maybe AJ Styles drops the belt to Shinsuke and then ends up on Raw, where you can have him build up a feud against the Beast Brock Lesnar. Who knows, man? The possibilities are endless. If they fail to pull the trigger on giving AJ Styles the belt this Tuesday, they have effectively told us that they only care about their financial interests, and they only care about what they're going to gain from overseas, and that all of their motivation is not in the quality of the talent, but in what they can get out of this new area in India. It is effectively a cash grab. That's what they are looking to do. And to send Jinder Mahal into India wearing that belt with a win over AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar will send me into a tizzy. It will be unrepairable. Irreparable damage will be done to SmackDown Live and the World Heavyweight Championship. This is the moment. They need to seize it. And they need to do the right thing. And the right thing is giving AJ Styles that title. And that's what I hope to see on Tuesday. Now, in our top story, like we mentioned at the beginning of the show, Chris Jericho challenging Kenny Omega. Let's pull this story up, and I'm going to read this to you. This is courtesy of the Pro Wrestling Sheet, and I'm going to come clean here as well. I got suckered in big time. I consider myself to be fairly open-minded and to not really feed in to the social media garbage that gets spewed out there almost on a daily basis. But especially if you watch the show, you will know that a few episodes ago, I kind of went off on Chris Jericho for calling out Kenny Omega and saying some pretty derogatory things his way about New Japan and the such, and I was not very welcoming of Chris Jericho's comments and all this stuff. People were speculating that this was only them trying to build an angle leading to some sort of match which was going to happen on Chris Jericho's cruise that he's having, but that is not the case. Let's report the official story from James McKenna at the Pro Wrestling Sheet. The Twitter rivalry between Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho has been escalating for weeks now. And now we know what it's all leading up to. A match at WrestleKingdom 12. Following Kenny Omega's title defense against Trent Beretta at New Japan Pro Wrestling's Power Struggle event this morning, a vignette came up featuring Y2J challenging Kenny Omega at the January 4th event by saying he's the true best wrestler in the world. He is the alpha of pro wrestling, and it is going to be the alpha versus the Omega. Omega, of course, was fast to accept this challenge, and yesterday, Jericho seemed to tease a match between he and Omega on his upcoming cruise, but that all seems to, like I said, have been a ruse. This match will be happening January 4th at WrestleKingdom 12. That is the crux of the news. I watched the video. Chris Jericho came up with a little countdown, as he would normally do, and pulled up a picture of the cleaner, Kenny Omega, and laid down the challenge. And he did it very eloquently, as you could expect from Y2J. It was a great piece of business. And the biggest thing that I want to talk about with this announcement. Obviously, Chris Jericho's contract with the WWE has expired, and he is now moving along to do something different. This is something he's expressed interest in doing since August with New Japan Pro Wrestling. So this has definitely been in the cards. He knows the type of a talent Kenny Omega is, and he wants to get in there while the getting's good. And I cannot wait. This is going to be a match that could absolutely transcend New Japan Pro Wrestling as an organization. It's going to be bigger than the company. So, the one thing I want everybody to keep in mind, that this one announcement today has effectively already made WrestleMania look like a complete, total waste of time. And a big bowl of lumpy, grumpy shit. Now, I don't know why I described it that way, but that's the way I see it. Because your main event at WrestleKingdom 12, which may not even include the World Heavyweight Championship, is going to be Jericho versus Kenny. Alpha versus Omega. It's already got more of a build and a better tagline than anything you want to put on the table for WrestleMania 34. Nothing is set in stone. But what would you rather see? Would you rather see Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, or Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns? Or John Cena versus Jinder Mahal? These are the two prospective main events that we might be getting for WrestleMania. Do you care about either of those matches? I certainly don't. They have the possibility now, if they pull the trigger on the AJ thing, to set up AJ versus Shinsuke. But I doubt that they're going to give us that. That is the only match that they could put together on that card that could even rival this announcement with Omega and Jericho. WrestleKingdom 12 already is better than WrestleMania with the announcement of one match. Just based on where we're going. Like I said, nothing is set in stone, and the WWE is going to catch wind of this, and they are not going to like it. I'm sure they're not going to like it, because they already know that New Japan's biggest show of the year is going to top their biggest show on the power of one match. You can give me 9 hours of WWE WrestleMania, and I guarantee you I will be way more entertained by the 45 minutes to probably 1 hour Jericho and Omega are going to throw down at WrestleKingdom 12. This is huge. This is absolutely huge. This is going to be one of the biggest things to happen for Kenny Omega in his life. It's probably always been a dream of his to wrestle Chris Jericho, and now he don't have to come to the WWE to do it. Chris Jericho is one of the smartest businessmen in pro wrestling. He knows he's going to go to the bank with this one, even if he drops and falls to Kenny Omega. I see this end up becoming a series. You know, maybe Jericho beats Kenny Omega. And then Omega comes back in a rematch and beats him. And then we have a tie. You know what I mean? And we have to have the tiebreaker. Much like he did with Okada throughout 2016-17. Maybe 2018's feud of the year is going to go to Jericho and Omega. I already can't wait for January 4th. I'm going to do everything I can to get my eyes on that match when it happens so that I'm not spoiled and that everything, I could see everything as it happens. It's going to be one hell of a match. Kenny Omega is one of the most underrated talents amongst all of the common wrestling fans. A lot of people think he's just an indie guy. You know, they want to classify him a vanilla midget like they like to call Finn Balor. And I hate that term. It doesn't even make sense. Vanilla midget. These people come up with these terminologies and they think they're big shit and that it means something. That term doesn't mean anything. Because vanilla midgets don't exist. I don't even know what it is. Stupid, that's what it is. Kenny Omega is one of the best wrestlers in the world. Easily top 10. Maybe even top 5 if you want to really put the arguments in. Which I don't right now, so we're not going to go too far into that. But how much bigger can you get? The Ayatollah of rock and roller versus the cleaner Kenny Omega. There's so many different ways you can say it between all of these guys' nicknames and whatever. You got Jericho going up against the Bullet Club. We don't know what kind of a lead-in there's going to be to all this. Is he going to show up in New Japan prior to January 4th? Is he going to get involved with the Young Bucks or Marty Scurll or any of these people that are going to be on his cruise? Is something going to go down on the cruise? It's got so... My mind going like this because there's just so many possibilities for something fantastic here, and I can't wait to see it. That is the best and biggest news we could bring you on this day. That happened just this morning. This wasn't even in the plans. This was not even in the plans for the news today. I came home from work on my lunch break and I checked the news wire and this is what I see. So I really, really wanted to get home so that I could record this show and talk about this. I cannot believe that New Japan Pro Wrestling already has won up to the WWE and there is almost nothing that they can put together to rival this. Almost. Outside of maybe AJ Styles and Joe, or Shinsuke and Joe, or Shinsuke and Finn. Like that little clique. If you can get any of those matches to be at WrestleMania for a title or something, then maybe you have something that could rival what's going on in New Japan. But until then, if you're still riding down the path you guys are riding on, WrestleKingdom is going to blow WrestleMania out of the water. And I can't wait. Thank you guys so much. That's going to do it for the news for today. Not really much else going on. You know, the biggest thing circulating is the AJ Styles Jinder Mahal match, which I'm looking forward to seeing. And it's, like I said, a make it or break it night, you guys. Make it or break it night. Because if they fail to give AJ the championship, we're done. You're not going to see another SmackDown review. I'm not going to watch SmackDown again until Jinder Mahal is effectively removed from SmackDown Live. I do not want to see him being offered up to all the greatest of all time in order for the WWE to push their agenda. That's all they're about now. They're about pushing agendas. The Roman agenda is in full effect still. 4 years running as a failure and they're still pushing forward. The Jinder Mahal, all year long. 150 plus days at this point. Still pushing along. It needs to come to an end, and this Tuesday, it just might. Don't forget, you guys, to check out everything else on the channel. Part 1, we talked about Triple H joining the Shield and Bray Wyatt's return, the Bludgeon Brothers, and Emma's release. Much more coming to you guys. I got the top 10 things wrong with 2K18 going to be on the channel sometime either later this evening or early tomorrow morning. I'm going to have it here for you because I need to get this off my chest. 2K18 is just driving me crazy, and I need you guys to know why, and I want to know what you guys think as always. Just like I want to know what you guys think right now. Leave a comment down in the comment section below, which as always is yours. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is my little buddy, the World Heavyweight Champion of Microphones, Blue the Snowball. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of the Weekend Wrestling Update, and we will see you next time for the 2K18 special. And don't forget, tomorrow night and Tuesday for the Raw and SmackDown review, which might be our last. You're going to have to tune in and check it out. That's gonna do it, and we are out of here, and we will see you next time right here on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of YouTube, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, right here on Sledgehammer TV, only on YouTube.com. Thank you guys very much, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.